Are you a people leader who constantly sees content about International Women's Day every year and recognises that your workplace is not doing enough to support women and wants to make positive changes to be more inclusive, but also you're not sure where to start? Well, keep watching. As a leader, CEO, woman and mother who's been discriminated against, this is something extremely important to me in my own organisation. It's crucial that we continue to actively support women in the workplace all year round. In this video, we'll provide practical advice on policies, the gender pay gap, diverse hiring and supporting trans women. By the end of this video, you'll have a better understanding of how to create a more inclusive workplace and where to begin. The first thing is policies. Parental leave, maternity and paternity leave, adoption leave, caregivers policies, menopause policies, and flexible working options. Do you offer all of these, and how comprehensive and fair are they? The most inclusive thing you can do for mothers is look at parental leave as one. If you offer equal leave, flexible and hybrid working for mums and dads, you're making it easier for women to work in your organisation. I was discriminated against before when I had not one but both of my children, and it's really important to me that as an organisation, Culture Shift is really sensitive and makes it as easy as possible to take parental or maternity or paternity leave. The research we did on maternity discrimination shows that 1 in 4 expectant mothers were reluctant to share news of their pregnancy due to the fear of repercussions, and 12% have experienced maternity discrimination. So it's absolutely important for us to make sure what happened to me doesn't happen to anyone else, especially under my watch. What about menopause and menstruation leave policies? Again, hybrid working is the most basic thing you can offer to show you care about these issues. Menopause leave has been a much discussed topic in recent years. We also have a menopause policy that aims to help support all of those who experience it. Options can be offering things like negotiating flexible working hours or providing support. There have been a number of public examples of women leaving their leadership roles because they didn't recognise their menopausal symptoms, and not knowing that's what they were, they thought they just couldn't do their job anymore. As employers, we have to show commitment and sensitivity to support all employees at all stages of their lives if we're to expect them to thrive and flourish in their careers. Even though menopause is more talked about now, I think it's something many companies are still not addressing, whether that's because of a lack of awareness or being uncomfortable to do so. This needs to be challenged and changed. Secondly, addressing the gender pay gap. Median pay for all employees was 14.9% less for women than men in April 2022. And it will take an estimated 100 years for women to wait for the gender pay gap to be closed if progress on salaries continues to crawl at the current rate. This is shocking. So, what are companies doing to address and change that to speed the progress up? Companies with more than 250 employees should report their gender pay gap data. And while Culture Shift is far off that number at the moment, it's definitely something I want us to do in the future. Thirdly, hiring diversely. Being a tech company, we pride ourselves on the fact that around 70% of our team are women, higher than the national average of just 26%. If your organisation is in an industry that is predominantly male-dominated, ways you can try and change that include revising job descriptions that use gendered language or clearly appeal more to one gender than another, making sure your policies include and support women and what they might need, diversifying your hiring panel, seeing how diverse your talent pool is beyond just gender, and seeing what roles women are applying for. Check out this video here about our 7 tips on hiring and retaining diverse talent, where various experts in culture and HR will give advice on what's worked in their own organisations for overcoming this. Next, allyship. The importance of allyship from men in work should not be overlooked. Many men tend to think that gender inequality has nothing to do with them, which couldn't be further from the truth, because they may not fully understand the ways in which they can be allies to women. Men can be allies to women in the workplace by acknowledging the existence of gender inequality and actively working to address this. This means listening to women's experiences and perspectives, speaking out against sexist behaviour and language, and supporting their professional development. By being an ally to women, men can help create a more equitable and inclusive workplace culture that benefits everyone. Yes, an example of how men can be allies to women in the workplace is by actively promoting gender diversity and inclusivity in their teams and organisations. This can evolve by encouraging and supporting women's professional development, amplifying their voices and ideas, and advocating for their advancement and equal opportunities for growth and promotion. Men can also call out and address sexist behaviour and language in the workplace and work to create a more respectful and supportive environment for women. And finally, something many won't think about, and that's supporting trans women in the workplace. Trans rights have been at the forefront of debates everywhere recently. As a company, you need to be clear on how you will support your trans colleagues. Some statistics about the experiences of trans people in the workplace include 65% of trans employees said that they have had to hide their trans status at work. 41% of people who identify as transgender, non-binary, or another gender have experienced bullying, discrimination, or harassment at work. And only 4% of employees feel their workplace is liberal enough to tolerate transgender workers, or that their workplace culture is diverse enough for transgender people to fit in. These statistics are truly heartbreaking to me because there are people behind these statistics. Improving that can simply start with steps such as understanding gender pronouns and encouraging the usage of and talking about them. Revising or creative policies that include trans people, be that by using gender-neutral language or having a transitioning at work policy, as well as acknowledging that non-binary people and trans men can experience menopause. Creating better awareness of issues that affect trans people in and out of the workplace. This includes the fact that trans women are at higher risk of being discriminated against and harassed. Using your voice and platforms to publicly express your thoughts and support for trans people and your trans colleagues. So there are my steps for showing your organisational commitment to supporting women 365 days a year, not just by virtue signalling on social media on certain days. Make inclusive policies and live by them. Address the gender pay gap. Make a commitment to hire diversely. Hiring women is also the most basic thing you can do, and you shouldn't need to be applauded for doing that. Finally, allyship and supporting trans women as well. And remember, as Emmeline Pankhurst said, you must make women count as much as men. So, how are you supporting women in your workplace all year round? Let me know in the comments section below. Thank you for watching. I hope you found this video insightful. For more advice on improving your workplace culture, be sure to like this video and subscribe to the channel and check out our other videos. See you next time.